Well, greetings, race fans. We come at you live here tonight with Intensity Broadcasting, bringing you some more SCSRA Cup Series racing action here tonight from Michigan. And welcome aboard, folks. Intensity Broadcasting, of course, with none other than your own Jacob Schenkel here in for tonight's call of the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series for season number 12. We kicked off the season last week at Daytona, and we're rolling into Michigan tonight for race number 2 of season 12 here. And we got a pretty good sized field here tonight. That's always a good sign. At the moment, we have 28 cars logged in, ready to roll here tonight. 26 of them have turned a lap here in practice. Practice times look a little bit something like this. As you see, our race winner from last week, Holden Wheeler, won at Daytona, and here he is rolling into tonight with a little bit of speed under the practice. With 7 minutes left in practice here, drivers just trying to get their cars kind of shaken down, filled out, figuring what they have for tonight here at Michigan. It's kind of hard to classify Michigan as a track because it doesn't really fit into the super speedway norms of today, but it is much bigger than a 1.5 mile intermediate track, being at 2 miles distance. Definitely kind of in the same vein as Fontana when Fontana was still around, the 2 mile oval track, and Michigan kind of carries that same feel to it. Don't really get the draft packages like a Daytona or a Talladega, but drafting can definitely factor into winning or losing a race here at Michigan. I'm excited to call the action all year long. 15 races on the calendar. Here we are at race number 2. After Michigan here tonight, we head to Rockingham, Kansas, Pocono, the Roval, North Wilkesboro, Dover, Talladega, and then the Charlotte Oval. So a pretty good variety of racetracks there. You got a short track, you got some super speedway action, you got 1.5 mile racetracks as well, and then a road course for good measures as well. It looks like the only road course on the calendar for this season will be that Roval at Charlotte. Well, as we're getting into the last 5 minutes of our practice session here, let me go ahead and take my opportunity to present sponsors that keep us happy here, keep them happy. And of course, the first and foremost, none other than your main primary sponsor for the SCSRA Cup Series, Dev Sports Cards, the primary partner of the SCSRA and a consistent supporter of the league. Their eBay store has a fresh batch of auctions closing soon. From star rookies to vintage chase cards, plus 25-cent combined shipping on qualifying orders. If you want to support the people who support sim racing, check out Dev Sports Cards on eBay before those listings expire. And then secondly, we will go ahead and present our other sponsor, Butt Kicker, bringing a whole new dimension to immersive entertainment. Butt Kicker has pioneered tactile feedback technology that lets you feel the action. Whether you're behind the wheel in a sim rig, watching a blockbuster in your home theater, or in the studio dialing in the low end. With 2 decades of industry leadership, their haptic transducers convert audio signals into physical vibration, turning sounds into sensations. If you've ever wished you could feel that racing shift, explosion, or bass drop, Butt kicker makes it real. And our third sponsor that I'll highlight here tonight, the hidden opponent. In racing, everyone prepares for the competitors they can see, but one of the toughest opponents a driver can face never shows up on the timing screen. The hidden opponent is tackling the mental health battle inside the helmet, educating athletes, supporting teams, and giving the racing community language, tools, and leadership to talk about what usually stays silent. Because when drivers confront the hidden opponent, it doesn't just make them stronger, it doesn't just make them faster, it makes the whole garage stronger. And so, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch here tonight and interested in any of those, go ahead and check out the links down below to learn more about our sponsors. Well, we're down to 1 minute left in practice here. Looks like 29 cars signed in here to race tonight, so a really, really large-sized field. This should be a great race. I haven't been able to call very many races on the south side of 25 entries, so 29, we're getting right there into the nitty-gritty of real-life NASCAR-sized fields here with the SCSRA Dev Sports Cards Cup Series. Of course, it is the Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup this year. Kind of take over the naming rights. Still Dev Sporting Cards Cup Series, but yeah, definitely his mom in our thoughts, in our prayers, keeping our thoughts with the family and hoping the best for everyone still dealing with the aftermath, unfortunately. So practice is done and over with, and we're going to get rolling into qualifying, and I'll give it to you hot potato style as we get an idea of who could be our pole setter here tonight at Michigan. So fastest in practice, of course, was none other than your race winner from the Daytona 100, Daytona 250, I mean, the 100-lap race at Daytona last week with Holden Wheeler. But here we are, qualifying underway. We're getting rolling. Got Samuel Green in the 8 machine. It'll take a lap or two to see who's got the lap times. They're just kind of getting their warm-up laps underway right here. Alrighty, so we got our first timed in lap there. That'll be the 15 of Christopher Bishop, whom we saw win the sprint, or the duel, that was the Daytona opening duel. Good first lap for him. But jumping to the top of the leaderboard, you got the number 77 of Colin Hoffman. We have not yet seen him race this season, so this is his opening run of Season 12, starting off with a fast run here in qualifying. Second quickest right there, you got Hunter Hastings from Elkmont, Alabama. The 44 machine, not the 00. Holden Wheeler jumps to third quickest on his time. Your race winner from last week, here he is with a good run in qualifying. We'll see if his second lap can match that or top it. Matt Baines, fifth quickest. Ryan Gomes, seventh quickest. And David Hartney in the Greg Biffle throwback scheme, top 10 run here in qualifying so far. Keith Rosmondo looks like he's going to be one and done. He's tail end of qualifying at the moment. 19th quickest out of 19, so might be stuck in the back for the start of this one. Here we have Corey Bunch in the 02 machine. He just jumps past Holden Wheeler to take third in the charts. David Hartney jumps up to sixth in that Biffle machine. Ryan Hufford in the 83. We saw him put on quite the show at Daytona last week. And then we also got Joe Irwin for his first start of the season. He's usually pretty speedy when he hits the track, 9th quickest so far. And this will be his opening race for Season 12 as well. Whoa, Sharon Hill jumps to the top of the leaderboard there. Now we're starting to see some quick laps getting dropped down as Garrett Walden jumps up to second. That has dropped Holden Wheeler back to sixth. And Travis Bennett, the 01 machine, takes top position at a 38.63. He was 8 thousandths faster. Or is that 8 tenths? 8 tenths, my bad. Thousandths would be like millimeters of a second. That was 0.08 of a second over Sharon Hill. Sharon Hill's second lap, not any quicker. He actually dropped off a couple tenths there, as did Garrett Walden. Cameron Craighead, good for 17th in his qualifying attempt here. And here we have Austin Fassett, one of the last few to take a time here today. 28 cars look like taking a time. Shane Hines might be settling for tail end of the field here in 29th if he doesn't get out there and turn a lap. We'll see what the 88 machine's got with Fassett here. The Black Rifle Coffee Company machine. It's going to be pretty hard to see that car out there because it's all camouflaged up. And unfortunately, he misses the lap time there by the cutoff. Unfortunately, did not get his lap time. He's going to start dead last here today. So we will go ahead and get set up here for the starting lineup. Pole position goes to Travis Bennett. No stranger to pole position. Usually when he starts up front, he finishes up front. So we'll see if he can keep that trend rolling. He's going to have Sharon Hill starting alongside of him. Then you have the number 43 of Garrett Walden and the 77 of Colin Hoffman. Hunter Hastings and Corey Bunch, your third row. And then Holden Wheeler, race win last week. He isn't the points leader because of stage points paid out, but he's looking to try and get more points here tonight. He's going to be in a good position to fight for stage win there in the top 10 alongside Lauren Vincent with a stellar qualifying performance in the 07 machine. And then you have Matt Baines and David Hartney, your fifth row. Sixth row, Ryan Hufford and Joe Irwin. Then the next group behind that, you've got Craig Schroeder in 13th with Ryan Gomes alongside of him. Matt Parasini and Dana Ryan Cameron Craighead and Cale Thorpe. Samuel Green and Josh Hall, that's your top 20. Then it's Jeffrey Goodpaster with Christopher Bishop. Devin Butchino starting deep in the field here alongside David Henley. Then it's Carlton Charles, Tanner Hughes, Keith Resmondo, Shane Hines, and Austin Fassett. And that is your starting lineup here today in the Michigan 200. Well, grab a beverage, grab a snack. Got a little bit of a brief wait here before they go racing. And the pace lap to get going here tonight. 29 cars take to the field for 100 laps. We do have a stage break here at lap 35 tonight. And as they're getting warmed up here, let me go ahead and reference our point standings to see who is sitting pretty after Daytona. Currently, your points leader is Matthew Parasini, or rather, Matt Parasini. Cameron Craighead second, Holden Wheeler third. Parasini with 55 points, Cameron Craighead with 50, and Holden Wheeler with 46. It's actually a three-way tie for third with Holden Wheeler, Samuel Green, and David Hartney, your top 5. With the chase, the inception of the chase for the SCSRA Cup Series this year, those point standings are going to be much more valid, much more important to follow along with, as I'm sure every driver is going to be battling for every point to get into that chase. And we're rolling here tonight. Green flag waves. We're off and racing. Good push there. The 01, that would be... I'm shooting a blank here. Usually it's Travis Bennett. And Travis Bennett up to the lead here. Scoring does not show him with the lead, though, which is what's weird. And I don't know if it's going to take a lap here to get caught up. But as you can see, it's going to show your leader as Garrett Walden, which is not correct. We'll see if it resets when they come across the start-finish line, because it even says lap 2, which it should be lap 1, now going on to lap 2. Well, with, there we go. No, it still hasn't reset, so as weird as it is, Travis Bennett should be your race leader right now. Holden Wheeler right there battling him for the position. I honestly do not know. I think it's getting it sorted out here. There we go. Should be back and rolling.
Caution, yellow flag.
So yeah, sorry for the slight technical difficulties there, folks, but it seems like that'll just be an intermittent problem that we'll have to deal with throughout the night here. First caution comes here on lap 5, your race leader Holden Wheeler over Sharn Hill and Travis Bennett. And let us go ahead and dial up the butt kicker replay to see what brought out the caution here for lap 5. So you can see the 0 car there. That right there is Joe Irwin. Oops. Looks like a solo spinner between him and Hartney as he just kind of gets right into the back of that 16 machine. Spinning out the Biffle tribute car there. Unfortunately, mid-pack, I would say, was where that happened. And minimal damage for the two of them. It looks like Joe Irwin could have probably got the worst of that, getting stuck on the outside. Kind of that wall like a cheese grater. Yeah, you can see that nose punched in on the front of the Ford number 0 machine there for Joe Irwin. It doesn't look all that pretty on the 16 as well. So first caution. More than likely not going to see any takers down pit road here, but you never know. Well, I guess we do have some takers down pit road here. Currently following the 5 is Sharn Hill, taking this opportunity to pit. Quick services for the number 5 machine, and that's going to drop him all the way to the back. So Holden Wheeler will maintain his lead here. Travis Bennett moves up a spot into second. Then you've got Hunter Hastings running top 3 at the moment. Garrett Walden in 4th. Cameron Craighead plus 12 spots from where he qualified it up into 5th. Then it's Colin Hoffman. So Cameron Craighead's got a... maybe it's not puffs of smoke. It was kind of weird there. I thought I saw puffs of smoke, but that might just be the coloring of the racetrack. And you see the grass coming off the number 44 machine just ahead of him there. Lights are still on the pace car, so we've got at least one more lap here under caution. It gives these drivers a chance to kind of recollect their thoughts. A really quick caution break here in the start of this race. You know, for the most part, the drivers are going to want to get going and stay going. Each time they have to stop and stall for a caution like this, they kind of get out of the race mode, and they're going to have to recollect and retrace to get back into race mode here as the lights go off on the pace car. Not very often do you see back-to-back winners, and we saw it this year with NASCAR with Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick didn't just go back-to-back, but he went 3 in a row to start the season. Gotta imagine, and I'm not trying to play commentator at the start of the season. And as we get settled in for the restart here, those intermittent internet breaks, a little too intermittent right now, once about every 4 laps. And just hoping that it stays good, stays clean. I made sure there's no other machines or computers using internet at the house here. That's all I can do. We're back and rolling here. Holden Wheeler on the outside, driving into turn 1 as he's got Travis Bennett on his inside. Looks like about a 5-car breakaway as 6th place Colin Hoffman dropping backwards. They come fanning out down the backstretch. Year 2 still dueling for the lead here. It has not been settled or sorted between Holden Wheeler and Travis Bennett. Bennett has a good run on the inside. Michigan's one of those tracks, though, you can keep it on the high side and carry that momentum. Definitely a different flow. The track definitely runs different based on the lines you're running, so you can be up high and still carry that momentum into the turn and not lose the lead. And just like that, look at that. Holden Wheeler holding solid, looking good. And he still hasn't really closed the door yet. It's a matter of time before he does. He's keeping it interesting here. Bennett finally falls right behind him to second. And they've built up a nearly full second advantage over the rest of the drivers behind them. Half a second at least for now. Half a second, not quite a full second. Now some big movers in the field already early in this one. Obviously, the number 1 of Cameron Craighead up 13 from his qualifying position. But we also have the likes of Matt Parasini up 8 spots. Samuel Green up 10 spots. And even a little further back, Devin Butchino up 9 spots into the top 15. There's battles all over the field right now. It's kind of hard to hyper-focus on which battles to kind of follow here. You got the 81 there of Josh Hall duking it out with Corey Bunch. He gets down low, carries that momentum. Not quite the opportunity to make a slide job on the O2 machine of Corey Bunch, but it could have been done. Good battles here in the mid-pack. That's for 11th, 12th. You even got the 60 of Jeffrey Goodpaster gaining some more spots here as he's up +8. But your biggest gainer so far, and still working on a top 3, you've got the number 1 of Cameron Craighead, who had set pole position at Daytona and managed to have a pretty solid campaign for the Daytona 250. And just a little bit of misfortune, I think, was what struck him and kind of cost him a shot at winning the race last week. He's separated by about a half second to your leader right now, and that battle for the lead starting to brew. Bennett, pole position here tonight. He's right there on the door of trying to get the lead back. Kind of a single file breakaway, but let us highlight the return here by Sharn Hill, who decided to pit under that caution. He relinquished pretty much all his spots, fell all the way back to 28th. He's up about +8 after making the pit stop under caution here. Getting off strategy sometimes gives you a different scope on the day. For sure, the number 5 machine has a car capable of running up front, leading laps. We saw it from the get-go that he's got the speed, he's got the ability. But now maybe kind of a testing session, making that pit stop so he can see how the car functions in traffic here tonight. So up to 20th right now. Not looking like a big advantage per se, but he's learning. He's figuring some stuff out for later tonight that might be relevant to push his way to victory at the end. It's crazy how Devin Butchino is up, flying through the field, now up +10 into 13th. He's picking them off one by one, little by little, nearly a position a lap, it feels like, through 16 laps so far, up +10. And now we've got a 3-wide battle for the lead. Cameron Craighead has really closed that gap, and we've got a 3-dog fight for first position. Travis Bennett still trying his hardest to get around the 09 machine, but with all the side-by-side racing, that has just allowed for Craighead to really close this gap here. And this is going to be a battle for the stage win up to lap 35 here, so we're about halfway through the stage, just a little bit past halfway now, with another 16 laps left in the stage. But very much up for grabs between these 3 drivers that are showing a lot of muscle early on here tonight. One, he's experimenting, kind of sliding up and down the track to find all the speed he can get out of that slick-looking black machine. There we go. The 09 stays high and the number 1 goes low. And the 2 lines kind of intersect there. Unfortunately, I don't know if the one had to let up there or not, but he had a good run going up until he didn't. But that's honestly the best line there, to run the line opposite of what the leader's running to try and counteract that, the run that you're getting. And the one seems to be making it work, figuring it out here as he continues to close in ever so slightly on the back bumper of that 09 machine. But great defense here from Holden Wheeler as he's been able to maintain that lead with a hungry pack of drivers right behind him. Craighead's going to slam it through there. Carries that momentum, but now it's going to be on the 09 to carry that momentum. He didn't have to let up as much as the one. That was kind of a Hail Mary. Whoa, and the one's getting loose. Bennett gets into Cameron Craighead, unfortunately. And Craighead keeps it rolling here. I'm sure the car maybe a little bit rough for the wear. The Jack Shack number 1. Man, we watched that as it happened right there, live on the replay footage. And Travis Bennett still has not been able to solve the riddle that is Holden Wheeler. Tremendous bounce back for Cameron Craighead not to lose more than 5 spots here. He falls back to 7th. And it looks like he's still trying to feel it out here, make sure that that car is stable. That stage brake, it'll come in handy for him and the team to look at it, assess the damage, and figure out where to go from there. Looks like we do have 1 retirement in the race. Joe Irwin, after that wreck, he's no longer on the racetrack. No, he is. Okay. So the ticker's lying to us. He is out there on the racetrack. But I don't know what lap he's on at the moment. So here we go. Travis Bennett getting around Holden Wheeler. He's going to try that same move that we saw from Cameron Craighead. Just drives it in deep. Slides in front of the 09. And for Wheeler, it doesn't look like he's going to have much of a comeback on that move that the 01 made. So he settles into 2nd here for now. Hunter Hastings up to 3rd. Garrett Walden in 4th. And then Samuel Green, your top 5. Matt Parasini holding in solid. Cameron Craighead dropping even further back now. That car must be hurting a little bit after the contact. He's getting bumped around a little bit here. 10 laps is going to be a long time to that stage break here. And he's just trying to hold on desperately for dear life as he's dropping backwards. Well, what looked like a 3-dog fight has kind of shifted gears a little bit here, and it looks like maybe a 4-car fight with 2 new drivers that we haven't seen up here all day so far in the top 2. Hunter Hastings, that 44 machine, and Garrett Walden in the 43. Huge shout out to Devin Butchino, up 16 spots now into 7th. He's still picking them off one by one. That 68 machine, the orange and blue Mustang of Devin Butchino, and already within range of the top 6, potentially even top 5 or a podium. And we're not even to the first stage break, so he's going to have the advantage of a stage break to get him drawn closer to the front. Travis Bennett driving away with it now. It's a half-second advantage to Bennett, as Holden Wheeler maybe used his stuff up a little bit here. He's starting to falter just a little bit at the tail end of this long run. This is actually probably going to race out pretty quickly here tonight if we are light on the cautions. We only had 1 caution so far in the first 27 laps. This battle between your 2 leaders has been worth every cent of the action here today. Bennett and Wheeler have swapped the lead a couple times. We had a slight appearance there from Cameron Craighead, and just unfortunately he got tapped into the outside wall. One of those racing incidents. And we're under our 2nd caution here tonight as we let them race back to the start-finish line. So we'll go ahead and dial up the butt kicker replay here and see what happened. So it looks like involved in the wreck, I believe, is the 81 here of Josh Hall. And that 20 machine is Cale Thorpe. This is back there. Whoa, I think the 81 just kind of got loose on the outside there. And Cale Thorpe just along for the ride, unfortunately. Might have to see another angle on that one. Oh, whoa, okay. Thorpe actually gets into left rear bumper there, turning Josh Hall around. Kind of a tough break there. Josh Hall's paint scheme, kind of the inverse of Butchino here today. You can see the orange and blue on Josh Hall, teammate cars for Neon Racing, the 2 of them. And yeah, just a tough break here for Josh Hall being involved in the 2nd caution. No harm, no foul. Kind of gets spun out. Just needs some fresh tires, and he'll be back and rolling here tonight. So a little bit of shuffling as there's some folks deeper in the field making pit stops. Your leaders, however, figuring only 5 laps to the stage break that they're going to stay out. And I'm wondering if they're going to do the stage break now or if they'll actually reset it for 5-lap shootout here. Yeah, they are definitely worried about fuel here today at Michigan. Yeah, we're going to get doubled up here with what would technically be 3 laps left in the stage. We will mark down just as a placeholder for now, just in case. Travis Bennett was leading at that first caution, could potentially be your stage winner, but I think we're going to get 5 laps and then another quick caution to rule the official stage end here. But we'll know for sure if the green flag stays after lap 36, then this is official or maybe not. Setting up for the restart here, you're going to have Travis Bennett and Holden Wheeler, followed by Hunter Hastings and Garrett Walden, Matt Parasini, Samuel Green. How about Devin Butchino right there in the top 10 within striking distance of your leaders now, with a nice, neat little caution break here to get him even tighter to the top of the field. Pace car is off. We're going to get back to green here on lap 32.
Green flag, green flag.
Still 28 cars out there on the racetrack.
Caution, yellow flag.
Oh, and that's got to be stage end right there. Bad restart here. Let's see what was the fault. I can see, oh, and getting turned, unfortunately, Josh Hall in back-to-back caution incidents here. That was not really his fault. Looked like he got run into by Jeffrey Goodpaster, and unfortunately brings out the 3rd caution here tonight. So a break in the restart zone, taking Josh Hall for a ride. Oh, man, I don't know if Goodpaster was actually at fault there. It looked like the 81 just got loose. Sometimes you see that when shifting through the gears on a restart, going bad. Just unfortunate circumstances there for the 81 of Josh Hall, bringing out the 3rd caution. Yeah, there wasn't any contact there. Goodpaster just wrong place, wrong time. There goes the 1 of Cameron Craighead and the 16 with nowhere to go. And here we have pit stops once again. And I do want to say that was probably stage end. So Travis Bennett should be your stage winner here today, barring any other confusion or miscommunication here from my end. But based on what I've seen here, I think he is your stage 1 winner, as this should put us back into green flag racing all the way to the finish, and we'll see how the rest of this race plays out. Drivers are worried about that fuel mileage here today at Michigan. It's going to be tight. It's going to be something to keep your eyes on to see if the drivers have saved enough fuel here today, how it's going to factor in. If we get some cautions, that maybe it'll kind of help them out. Travis Bennett doing a stellar job here, leading as many laps as he has already, and making it through stage 1 as your leader here. Looks like the 77 stayed out there, Colin Hoffman, and I'm sure he'll probably pit this next time by. Yeah, oddly staying out, so I don't know if that's by the rules, by a stage break, stage in like this, if you're allowed to stay out. I'm sure you can probably still stay out, but this might get kind of weird here. The fresher tires all around him. He's going to be starting as your leader, the control car, going into turn 1. Well, it looks like Joe Irwin has made it back on the lead lap with the cautions here, putting him back in a lead position. Josh Hall, unfortunately, going a lap down after his pair of cautions that he was involved in back in 28. And Jeffrey Goodpaster also in 29th, one lap down here. And Colin Hoffman officially leading his first laps here tonight. Gets to reset the field on a strategy call. Stayed out when everyone else pitted. Lap 35 heading on to lap 36. This would have been the official stage break had they not had a caution there at the end. So we're getting back right in the racing action. Well, Colin Hoffman off to the races now, but his tires, look at that, falling backwards. A very brief stint that he had to enjoy up at the lead, now falls back to third, maybe even worse here, as fourth, fifth, sixth, they're going to be hot on his heels. Hunter Hastings now right there, mixing it up with Travis Bennett for the lead. And now new third place entry right there. That's Matt Parasini. Parasini for Cypress Academy. Very familiar name that we've seen up front in these SCSRA Cup Series races. We definitely saw them steal the show last year as they came down to the final 4 for Cypress Academy. And, of course, his teammates right there behind him. He's got the 43 of Garrett Walden within range. And it looks like a couple of their other drivers not able to make the race here tonight. We're used to seeing Jesse Whittington and names escape me sometimes. There's at least 4 drivers for Cypress Academy, but we don't see the other 2 for sure. As Garrett Walden and Matt Parasini, the lone troopers here tonight for the team. But at the end of the night, all you really need is 1 or 2 drivers to really make something happen. And as you can see right there, 24 Parasini reeling in the 44 machine of Hunter Hastings. He's going to go for a twofer here, try to get around both the 09 and the 44. Holden Wheeler back in the mix again, up to third here. Trying to go around the outside of the 44. It's not working yet, but he's got the momentum. Here he is carrying it down the backstretch. But not going to have enough to get around Hunter Hastings yet. All in the meanwhile, Travis Bennett kind of cruising away with it here. Whoa, no, there's contact. 44, Hunter Hastings might have just kissed the wall there. Man, second place has not been a friendly place to be here today, as that's the second driver that was running second that got clipped going into the corner. For Hunter Hastings, though, it looks like he's going to recover much smoother than Cameron Craig had. No, it's getting ugly here as it's 3 wide, and he's dropping even further back. You know, even losing just a small smidgen of momentum in these next-gen cars, it's kind of a death sentence, because that car, it takes a while for it to get back up to speed, and you just get back into the rhythm. But if you're not in that rhythm, getting back to that rhythm is a lot harder to achieve. And so, yeah, Hunter Hastings actually falling further back. He actually falls right there in line with Cameron Craighead. The two of them have something in common here tonight, getting spun from second place. Not necessarily spun, but just getting nudged out from second place. Last time it was Travis Bennett that clipped the one machine, and this time it was Holden Wheeler that clipped the 44 of Hunter Hastings. So it's crazy that it happened twice here tonight. You could dial up the meme if it happened, you know, if I'd have 2 dimes or whatever. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen a third time, because then you wouldn't be able to make that meme about it's like, I don't know why it's happened twice, but it did. Holden Wheeler holding on to second. Matt Parasini third, and his teammate Garrett Walden right behind him. Dana Ryan up into the top 5 for the first time here tonight, up 11 spots in the 49 machine. Samuel Green holding in solidly here all day today. Matt Baines top 10 run. Devin Butchino still very much within the lead group here. Corey Bunch and Sharn Hill, your top 10. And then how about Keith Resmondo up 16 spots here today in 11th place. As it sits right now, he is your biggest gainer, 1 spot more than even Devin Butchino at plus 15. And the gap starting to shrink here just a little bit, down to about 1/4 of a second. Travis Bennett, your pole setter here today, leading some laps. Holden Wheeler also has led some laps here today. A couple other drivers kind of creeping into the picture. They might want to have a shot leading some laps here tonight. There he is, closing that gap. It's about to get good for the lead here. Trying to carry that momentum on the outside. Drag race down the backstretch. The 09 has a bit of an advantage here on the outside. The gap has shrunk significantly. He's got a nose on the 01 heading through the turn. He's going to carry that momentum. The 01's going to try to slide up the racetrack, try to get within his bubble, drops all the way back down to the bottom. Holden Wheeler leads that lap. Still side by side as your 2 drivers leading the way, fighting for that first position. This is allowing Matt Parasini to kind of get a glimpse there at the lead. Might try to make it 3 wide here. Carries that momentum down low. They're going to come down the front stretch, and look at Matt Parasini waking up here, smelling the fresh front field air as he sees these two duking it out for the lead. We're going to be halfway this time by, 50 laps in, 50 laps to go. And it's just getting good. The battle up front, very tight, very much up for grabs with your trio leading the way. I hear some crunching in the background. No caution, we stay green, halfway through, halfway to go. And I do want to look at Ryan Gomes here and see what happened. Heard some crunching, but I don't know. Honestly. You hear the crunching again. Yeah, we'll just go back to live racing and try to figure out after the fact, because it's getting good at the lead here. We don't want to miss this battle. And that was actually bad on me for stepping away. It looks like Matt Parasini right there knocking on the door. Matt Parasini carrying that momentum. The 09 will have the outside line charge down the front stretch. Look at that. He's going to maintain the lead for another lap, but Matt Parasini is right there. The 01 kind of splitting the draft, working with both leaders there. Getting up high with the 09, and there we go. Matt Parasini closes the door on Holden Wheeler to take over the top spot here tonight. And that is the Dynamite number 24 machine, Chevrolet of Matt Parasini. He definitely has some of the slickest looking paint schemes here in the SCSRA. Whoa! Side-by-side action. There was a bit of a bump as he went for the lead there. That doesn't really qualify as side drafting or side bump drafting. That was just flat out bumping, running into the 24 machine. Contact in full supreme. And 24 maybe not very happy about that. He tried to cut him down a little harder there in the middle of the turn. And the battle is on for this race lead as Holden Wheeler gets the top spot back. 24, he'll recover, and make another shot at it here. Look at that. Great momentum for the 24 machine as he's carrying it down through the turn. Down on the backstretch now. He's got the side-by-side advantage heading into turn 3. This battle up front, too good to step away from as the lead has swapped hands about 3 times in the last 3 laps. Matt Parasini back to the top spot, stealing the lead away from Holden Wheeler. It looks like Ryan Gomes out of the race now after a couple trips down pit road. We missed something there, and unfortunately without any knowledge of a caution or anything pointing to what happened, we're not sure why he's out of the race at the moment, or at least servicing his car on pit road. Well, the battle's starting to come together a little bit further back here. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, very much in the mix right now as Dana Ryan trying to move up to 4th. That's going to drop Garrett Walden back to 5th. That 49 machine now sets his sights on the 01 of Travis Bennett, your pole setter here today. Some folks have a long run set up, and it looks like Dana Ryan maybe just has a car built for the long runs here today, as it's getting better for him the longer the run goes. He's starting to close the gap on the 01 just a little bit. Is he going to be able to work his way up to 3rd here? Yeah, tough break for Hunter Hastings, who was up there in the top 3 before getting clipped into the wall. He's dead last of your lead traffic in 25th leaders. Oh, and now he just went a lap down. There he is right there in the picture as they drive around him. That puts him a lap down. So, of course, I say something and then it effectively changes. Commentator's jinx at its finest. And that time we did hear some crumpling and contact. That was because the 44 had gotten into the wall there when the leaders caught up to him. Well, 60 laps in, 40 laps remaining here tonight. And like I mentioned earlier, your points leader based on stage points from Daytona was Matt Parasini, rolling into tonight as your number 1 in the point standings. Cameron Craighead 2nd, Holden Wheeler 3rd. So we're already with only a 2-race gauge starting to see the big names that are going to set themselves aside from the rest of the field going forward here. Matt Parasini and Holden Wheeler definitely, obviously Holden Wheeler, the race winner at Daytona last week. And Matt Parasini leading the way right now. But the big question on every one of these drivers' minds is going to be fuel mileage. And without very many cautions right now, kind of slowing up the pace, that makes it even harder to seal in what your strategies will be like here tonight. Especially for your leaders up front, leading all these laps, burning through their tires a lot quicker. You're going to have to burn more gas at the lead like this as well. So got to figure some of that factoring in as well. Your leaders burning through more than the rest of the field. Some of the drivers in the mid-pack purposely saving because they know they don't have the pace to run with the leaders here. So just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different factors that they have to equate for. Bennett gets right there alongside Holden Wheeler. There was almost contact, but Wheeler managed to maintain the advantage on the 01. Here comes Garrett Walden around the 09. Looks like he's shot out of a cannon, coming to attack for 2nd place to get up there with his teammate who leads the race. And even more so, the drivers on the long run here, it seems like their car's waking up. Some drivers and then other drivers, cars are falling asleep, dropping off the cliff. Great run here from Garrett Walden, and then Devin Butchino up to 5th right now, plus 18 spots. Oh no, what's going wrong with the 43 of Garrett Walden? Hopefully it's not gas related. It looked like he was trying to shake that car to get the fuel to go to a different pickup spot in the fuel tank. It looked kind of weird how he was shaking the car frantically there on the backstretch, and it cost him 2 spots, falling back to 4th. Matt Pericini almost to a full second advantage over Holden Wheeler. Building that gap and driving even further away from your other drivers, second on back. Still a masterful performance from Devin Butchino here tonight. That 68 looking very clean. Travis Bennett under attack on the outside here. That's the 43 of Garrett Walden trying to get back up to 3rd. He wants to try to get back up to 2nd. He's going to close the door on the 01 machine there of Travis Bennett. Whoa, and the 49 getting loose, wondering if maybe the tires gave up on the 49 of Dana Ryan. That looked ugly. Yeah, his car has got something tweaked, something wrong. No caution, it looks like. We're going to stay green. But let's see. Yeah, I definitely do wonder if it had anything to do with the tires getting wore out. Yeah, it didn't go far enough back. Oh, he hit the wall on the exit of the turn, and that car was just out of control after that. That second hit, that hard hit, was what did the damage there. And it looked like a broken A-arm on the front suspension. Did not want to turn left. He had it hammered to the left there, and it just did not want to turn after the contact, the damage, the broken suspension on the 49 machine. So pit stops have started here, it looks like. Your leaders, Matt Pericini, Travis Bennett coming down pit road here on lap 71. Staying out, though, it's Devin Butchino and Garrett Walden. And so if we do the math, they came back to green at lap 36. That meant they ran a perfect 35 laps here. And these two stay in a little bit longer. They're going to make it almost a perfect 36 and 36. So 36 laps, and then yeah, they'll have 28 laps to go to the finish. So more than enough fuel. They'll have just a slight edge on those that came first round. And Matt Parasini coming back around. Devin Butchino back on the racetrack. Garrett Walden back on the racetrack, but they're going to be getting up to speed here. You can see on the inside, that's the 43 of Garrett Walden. Should see Devin Butchino. Yep, there's the 68 of Devin Butchino. And he shuffles back to around 5th or 6th, so right back to where he was before the round of green flag pit stops. But it's Holden Wheeler back to the lead here, with Travis Bennett in 2nd and Sharn Hill up to 3rd. Kind of out of nowhere. I don't remember where Sharn Hill was running before the green flag pit stops, but it wasn't really anywhere near the top 3, so we'll see if this is a strategy move or if he actually did make a quick pit stop to get himself up to the lead here. Keith Resmondo about to go a lap down, unfortunately. That 9 must have had a terrible, no good pit stop to fall this far back, and he's going a lap down. He drops the apron. Troubles for the number 9 machine, it seems like. There we have a battle for the lead. Travis Bennett and Holden Wheeler side by side. Matt Parasini wanting to get back up to 3rd. Travis Bennett falls back into 2nd. Holden Wheeler on the defense here. Well, down to the last quarter of the race, 25 laps to go. Make your picks, folks. Who you think's going to get the job done? It looks like it could be potentially a battle between 4 here for the win. Sharn Hill had a great start here tonight, decided to get off strategy, fall back on the first caution, and here he is back at the front fighting for the win. 25 laps to go. Him and his teammate, the 09 of Holden Wheeler for Sentinel Motorsports. And 09 of Holden Wheeler getting his first ever career win last week at Daytona. Sharn Hill definitely in the mix here today. Would love to get a win for himself and try to establish some team dominance as the only team to win the first 2 races of the season. Definitely has a good shot here with him and Holden Wheeler right at the front of the field. They've also got Craig Schroeder and Matt Bands in the field here today. Matt Bands running in 8th. Schroeder at the moment running in 12th. And the 01 of Travis Bennett for Full Throttle Motorsports. His teammates include the likes of Corey Bunch and a few other drivers. The 02 and the 01 is specifically teammates, it looks like. It's kind of crazy that we've got more 0X numbers than you often see. We've got the the 44 is under classification as 00, so that doesn't really count. But you do have the 01, the 02, the 03, the 07, and the 09. It's not very common to have those kinds of numbers. They do exist in real life NASCAR, but it seems to be a good luck charm this year, as we've got the 09 already to victory lane and potential for either the 09 or the 01 to find it again here tonight. 21 to go. Bennett just kind of biding his time at the moment, not trying to push the envelope, just kind of waiting it out, seeing where it takes him. Of course, for your leaders, they probably would not like to see any more cautions here tonight. It would be great to stay green to the finish, as they've got their rhythm going, the momentum in their favor. Caution would just slow that rhythm down. But if you're someone like Devin Butchino, Samuel Green, or even maybe deeper in the field, such as Cameron Craighead, that a caution would definitely be the next thing you want to see happen to get you into the mix once again here. Looks like we've got about 20 cars on the lead lap. Your last car on the lead lap is Austin Fassett in 20th place. Carlton Charles just now goes the lap down, so that leaves us with 19. Charles must have made a pit stop or something. Swap for the lead. Holden Wheeler drops to second as Travis Bennett secures the top spot away from him. You're watching live there. Sharn Hill looking to maybe try and swoop in and save the day for the team. Holden Wheeler not out, definitely knocked down here, but he's still fighting, still very much in the mix. Maybe letting the 01 pass so he can learn what his line is and try to run the alternate to win this race. You've got to learn how to race against the others. And there's some lap traffic, of course. Last on the tail of the lead lap, Austin Fassett in the picture there. He's going to be at risk of going a lap down before the end of this one. Travis Bennett leads the way in the 01 machine. His front view mirror full of the back bumpers of a couple cars ahead of him, specifically the 88 and the 20. Cale Thorpe and Austin Fassett. Whoa, he gets right there close to the back bumper of the 88. No contact, but it could have been contact for sure. Whoa, the 88 goes way slow, and that ended up kind of throwing a curveball for Holden Wheeler. I don't think he knew where to go, but still carrying the momentum through the turn. Holden Wheeler closing the door up on the number 01 machine here. Holden Wheeler's going to have a shot here. It's looking like we could stay caution-free to the end of this one. It's been a nice, long green flag run in the second half of the race here. Looks like Sharn Hill falling into the grasps of Matt Parasini, and even Devin Butchino right there in the picture as well, as your top two starting to drive away from the rest of the field. Holden Wheeler going to the high side. Travis Bennett kind of keeping it in the mid lane there. Gomes making another pit stop here, so his day is just kind of gone south. And currently 26th in the running order on pit road once again. Gomes' day has just kind of went out the window. 19 cars on the lead lap. The last driver holding on to a lead lap position is Tanner Hughes. Carlton Charles right there with him as well, and Shane Hines. Carlton Charles looks like drops back. It's kind of weird. The ticker keeps dropping him a lap down, and then it puts him back on the lead lap. So I'm not sure what's going on with the ticker there. Cameron Craighead pulls out and drops off the map there, falling outside of the top 20. Yeah, pit stop for Craighead with 12 laps to go. Looks like Sharn Hill trying to hold on for a third here as our leaders are catching lap traffic once again. 99 of Tanner Hughes. Sharn Hill holding on to third over Matt Parasini. Holden Wheeler in second. But running out of time, it's going to get down to where there's barely enough laps to make something happen. For Holden Wheeler, he's been dominantly leading the way for so much of the race here. It's been between him and Travis Bennett all night long. Thanks for that clarification there. Yeah, so Charles is not a lap down. The ticker is just kind of going wonky. And has the skill set to even type a message during the broadcast. Man, I would be crashing into the wall if I was trying to text and drive one of these iRacing next-gen cup cars. I have more power to anyone that's able to do it, because I think I would probably be a wreck waiting to happen trying to do that while I was driving out there. So our ticker's been all kinds of wonky today. I've been trying to follow it, and following it blindly sometimes is not always the best case when it is making up some ghost assumptions here tonight. It looks like Joe Irwin in the top 15, even though he's been all around on the ticker. But the one thing for certain that we can't get you can't mess up who's leading the race right now. It's Travis Bennett and Holden Wheeler. Bennett expanding that lead to nearly a full half-second advantage on Holden Wheeler. Matt Parasini gets up to third there, knocking Sharn Hill off of a podium spot here. Parasini with very few laps left to get the job done. He's about half a second shy of Holden Wheeler, and then a full blown second short of your race leader, Travis Bennett. Wow. So now the 09 resorting to desperate measures. He goes to the high side and actually clips the wall like we're running at Darlington. Holden Wheeler tried to go high and find some speed, but unfortunately that's going to cost him a spot here as Matt Pericini is right there on his back bumper. Pericini still a full second behind the leader, but he's within 0.2 of the second place Holden Wheeler. Here he is making a dive for second. 6 laps to go. Lap traffic also ahead in the picture with Travis Bennett. Matt Pericini on the attack. Every position matters a little bit more when points are at such a crucial, critical premium this year. Here comes the 24. That is the lapped car between them and Travis Bennett. That is, I believe, Cale Thorpe in the 20. Or, correction, that's the 67. That is actually Shane Hines, who's gone a lap down here, running in 18th. And there goes the 24 on the attack. 5 laps left to go. And the advantage that Travis Bennett has built is over a full second plus over the 24 of Matt Pericini. There goes Pericini for second place. Not a race win by any means, but definitely a very, very great gain on points, especially since Pericini is your current points leader. Travis Bennett looking to steal a win here tonight. Actually, I wouldn't say steal. He more than earned it by putting on a solid performance here. It's just short of 2 laps to make it official. And barring any cautions or craziness within these last couple laps that could steal it from him. But from pole position here tonight, Travis Bennett set it up front and stayed up front all night long. That 01 machine has been tough to beat. Lost the lead a couple times. It was a heated battle between him and last week's winner, Holden Wheeler. But Travis Bennett in the arm wrestle was winning time and time after again, battling that 09 machine. Finally, in this last restart, drives off and builds a full 1.5 second advantage with second place in tow. Matt Pericini gets up to second, and Travis Bennett just cruising now. Holden Wheeler falls back to third, at least backs up his race win with potentially a podium here. Him and his teammate Sharn Hill, third and fourth, with a top 5 for Samuel Green. Coming through for the last time here tonight in the Michigan 200. We seen him in victory lane last year at the road course, Watkins Glen, but here he is tonight at Michigan, taking home yet another victory in the SCSRA Cup Series, that number 01 machine. Great night of racing for everyone involved. Travis Bennett cements himself atop the podium with Full Throttle Motorsports here today, taking home the W. Matt Pericini for Cypress Academy bringing it home second. Holden Wheeler for Sentinel Motorsports bringing it home third. But at the end of the night, it is Travis Bennett with the big win. The 01 lands it in P1. And settling into the front of the field here. There he's got his teammate giving him a little bit of a nudge there, saying good job. The 02 there of Corey Bunch, who brought it home at 9th. At the end of the night, teammates stick together. But the photo op trio, the podium at the start-finish line, and now he's going to burn it down. Always love watching the burnouts at the end of a race. Bennett doing a nice, long, stretched out burnout there. Spins it right across the front stretch for good measure at the end. It's his race to celebrate. He can spend all night burning it down. He's going to park it in victory lane there in the middle. Takes home the victory at Michigan tonight. Man, what a crazy night with very little for cautions. We just got good, hard racing all night here tonight. And here is your final results at the end of the night. Your winner, Travis Bennett, followed by Matt Parasini, your points leader, leaving tonight with more of a points lead, followed by Holden Wheeler, who should be pretty close in second for that points battle here this season in Season 12. Then you had Sharn Hill. Samuel Green really did not leave the top 5 all night. He was top 5, top 10, and brings it home 5th for good measure. Then you had Devin Butchino, Garrett Walden, Matt Baines, Corey Bunch, David Hartney, your top 10. Lauren Vincent with a great qualifying position tonight. Still was able to bring home a top 15 in 11th there. Craig Schroeder, Joe Irwin, Colin Hoffman, and Ryan Hufford. Followed by Carlton Charles, David Henley, Shane Hines, and the tail end of the field there, Cale Thorpe, Austin Fassett, Tanner Hughes, Josh Hall, Keith Rismondo. Man, what a tough break for him. He had a top 15 until he didn't. Christopher Bishop, Hunter Hastings, Ryan Gomes, Dana Ryan, Cameron Craighead, and Jeffrey Goodpaster. So we're going to go ahead and do our podium interviews here tonight. Starting out with the first interview of the night. It's going to be your 3rd place finisher. And that is the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Jacob in the booth. Do you copy, Holden? I'll try this again. Do you copy? It's Jacob in the booth.
Yes, sir, I got you.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Well, how about it here tonight? Backing up your race win at Daytona last week with a podium finish here tonight at Michigan. How are you feeling after this race?
Feeling not bad. I led a lot of laps and messed up on pit road on the last stop, slid through the box, and I think I should have stayed out one more lap and I would have had a chance, but still I had a great race. It was really fun and I'm happy for Travis.
Yeah, no, it was a very heated battle all day between you and Travis for this race win. You two definitely had the best cars all day long, and strategies definitely factored in to the ultimate final result here tonight. With 2 races and back-to-back podiums, it's looking pretty good for your point situation. Heading into Rockingham next week, what's the game plan?
Just maintain top 10s every week. Don't do anything stupid to wreck myself, and just need to keep myself in the top 16 and make the chase. That's all I'm concerned about.
Well, and that's also perfect with these larger fields. We had 29 cars here tonight, so every top 5, every top 10 is going to be huge. and pivotal in the grand scheme of things, building those points up, getting a resume for the chase, and obviously 2 races in of the first 10 races the regular season, looking pretty solid here. So, anything else you want to mention here tonight, friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
I want to thank Sharn and Matt for being such great teammates, and Craig, our new teammate. He's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool seeing Sharn up there. Had a very, very good chance at a podium. He just fell to 4th at the end there. So great night for the team, and hopefully more to come for all of you involved. Very great seeing you guys running up front.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, and have a great night. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. You too.
So that was your 3rd place finisher. We'll roll on to 2nd place. A voice that we're familiar with because we've heard him on the podium interviews quite a few times. Go ahead and bring in Matt Parasini. It's Jacob in the booth. Do you copy, Matt?
Yes, I do.
Well, man, what a night here at Michigan. You rolled in with the points lead because of stage points and whatnot from Daytona. And you were up there mixing it up with the leaders. It was pretty much between Travis Bennett and Holden Wheeler. And then you snuck it through for a 2nd place here today. How did you get that good run at the end there to really get in the mix? And what else did you need to actually have a shot at the win?
Well, number one, qualifying 15th didn't exactly help my case very much to start with. So, starting that far back doesn't help. But on that last pit stop, I slid through my box just a little bit and I had to back up, and that's all it was. Travis got ahead of me, and then that was it. I had better tires than Travis, and I was actually running them both down. I ran out of time. I had to race Sharn really hard, then I had to race Holden really hard. So, I just needed not to make that mistake on my pit stop, and then might have had a good chance at the win. But we'll take a 2nd place finish with the Dynamite Chevy for sure tonight.
Yeah, it's tough when it comes down to a game of inches on the racetrack. Not a lot of cautions to really get things stacked back up here, and it was a grueling push there at the end of the 2nd half with minimal to no cautions. With Rockingham next week, what's your thoughts heading to Rockingham?
Thank goodness we're on a track that the draft doesn't matter. This is, at least now, we're going to go to a track where some driver skill is going to be involved. I tend to have been a lot better with this race car on tracks that short tracks and stuff because I can save my tires pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I really feel like we can get this Chevy maybe in victory lane here next week because Rockingham is one of my favorite tracks. So.
Well, and with only 2 teammates, well, you and it's only one other teammate right now. It's kind of a different feel for the team out there that dominated last year with Cypress Academy. So where does that kind of set you up for the rest of the season with kind of a lighter load on the teammates? I know that making it to the Final Four, you guys had basically a lock on the field. So this is definitely a different feel from the spectator standpoint.
Well, the team's changed a little bit. Jess, we've had a couple guys that have had life changes. Jesse now has commitments most Wednesday nights, so I think he's only going to be around for 4 races this year. So we are going to have a new champion for sure. Charles is the only one that I believe is running full-time on our team, and Lauren as well. I do know that Garrett is probably not running a full schedule either. So it's going to be a different look this year, but at the end of the day, 24 cars representing the team pretty well.
When you're running full-time then?
Yes, sir. I will be full-time this season.
Well, it's definitely going to be different with and I'm sure the team tactics kind of factor in a little bit too, but you're making the most of it here even with the lighter loads. So any other friends, family, sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
Just definitely have to thank this season and all the seasons that I'm running this year. My wife's company, Dynamite Creative Co., is sponsoring the car, so got to give a big shout out to her. My daughter, Johanna. Got to give Mike Wheel from Mosh Customs a shout out for this paint. This paint is absolutely amazing this season. It looks amazing on track, and I'm glad I was able to give it a good run. And just the admins. SCSRA has been a great league for me to race in the last 3 seasons, and then of course for you for the broadcast.
Awesome. Well, always glad to hear from you, my man. Congratulations on the second, and enjoy this one.
Will do. Thank you very much.
And that, folks, was your second place finisher, Matt Parasini. And we'll go ahead and roll on to the man of the hour, Travis Bennett, who got the win here tonight. Jacob in the booth. Do you copy, Travis?
Hey, Jake.
Howdy. How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Tired. That was something.
Yeah, it was pretty grueling without the cautions there at the end to get the job done here tonight. It was a battle between you and Holden Wheeler pretty much from green to checkers. And, sometimes those battles, it's who's got the might, who's got the stamina to get the job done at the end there. And you outdueled Holden all the way to the finish. Take me through it a little bit. How did you get to this point to win in the race at the end there?
So we came out of that last pit cycle, pulled out right behind him, and everybody knows as soon as you get some clean air, you're gonna take care of the tires a little bit better than what you would just riding behind somebody. And I didn't want to wait to the last minute to try to pull a slide job or anything like that. It's something that would be expected as well. So I just, for a couple laps, I kept running a little bit higher than he was, and it would create a small run. I said, "Well, man, this is pretty much my only chance because the way these cars drive, it's so hard to pass." And I think I could just caught him off guard. I just sent it in there, drug the brake a little bit so I didn't wash up, stay in line with him, and try to catch a lot of that clean air. Try to set sail, and caught a few lap cars, man. I want to give a shout out to those guys. It's pretty good when you run in the league where the lap cars get a little more, respectful to the leaders, especially in the closing laps. That was good to see, man.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. Definitely when you got that many cars on field, 29 cars here tonight, and they were, at least being knowledgeable of the race going on around them definitely helps. So we've seen you kind of pick and choose your schedule last year, and I'm not sure your situation for this year, but how many races or do you plan on a full season with the series here?
No, I'm gonna keep picking and choosing. Wasn't even sure if I was gonna run tonight because this is you never know what you're gonna get with Michigan. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on a limited schedule here. I'm actually looking at the schedule now. Rockingham, I'll probably run it next week. Kansas, I might skip. I'll be there for Pocono to Roval. Anything that's kind of an off the wall track that's not like a cookie cutter.
Well, that's kind of cool. It's kind of like a throwback back to the days of, David Pearson and Cale Yarbrough who kind of picked their races. And, whenever you do, you pick them and you're up there running for the wins. So pole position here, race win. What else is there? You want to thank any friends, family, sponsors here that got you here tonight?
I want to thank everybody at Full Throttle. Corey Bunch, Garrett Walden, Matt Parasini. I want to thank all the admins. I want to give a shout out to Devin. He came back. He was an old admin. No, good to see him back on track. And David Hartney, he's used to be an admin as well. Some people from the past coming back. It's good to see. Must be doing something right around here.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it's cool when you get the kind of the nostalgia bug too and everything. It's all working. It's pretty well, well oiled machine at the moment, and the streams are definitely looking pretty good too. Healthy, lots of people tuning in. I love watching all the people follow along, and yeah, it's been a great start to the season for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And I want to last and most important, man, I want to thank you for broadcasting, dude. It's always awesome coming back to watch the broadcast and seeing what people are saying, and you pick this one moment in the race that you want to look over again and see if you catch it, and it's just cool to watch again. I want to appreciate it.
Well, appreciate it too, and congratulations on the win here tonight. Celebrate it, and if we see you next week, hopefully we're talking to you again in Victory Lane or another good podium finish from Rockingham.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
And that, folks, is a wrap here tonight from Michigan. Your race winner, Travis Bennett, as you had heard there, definitely still kind of picking, choosing the races that he goes to. Old school racer mentality. It's not like you're there to race for the championship necessarily, but you're there, race for the wins. And he picked right here at Michigan tonight, started pole, won the race, gets to celebrate yet another victory in the SCSRA Cup Series. So we're heading on to Rockingham next week. Hopefully all can tune in and catch it. And thanks for tuning in tonight to the race at Michigan. Great battle between Holden Wheeler, Travis Bennett, and ultimately your points leader, Matt Parasini, with another great finish, keeping that points lead in his favor. So have a great night, everyone. Stay safe out there. And until next time, this is Jakester signing